Pendulum magic, sometimes referred to as dowsing, radiesthesia, or divinatory pendulum work, is one of the simplest yet most versatile techniques in the occult and esoteric traditions. It involves using a suspended weight, often a crystal, metal point or wooden bob, attached to a chain or cord. Through subtle movements, the pendulum is believed to convey information from the subconscious mind, spirit guides, or energetic fields. Although often viewed as beginner-friendly, pendulum work has a surprisingly deep history and has been used for everything from locating water sources to diagnosing illness and communicating with the unseen. Historical background. Ancient origins. The roots of pendulum divination stretch far beyond modern witchcraft. While we do not have explicit ancient texts that describe a pendulum in the modern sense, similar tools and principles were widely used. Prehistoric. Cave paintings and artifacts suggest the use of weighted cords for ceremonial and divinatory purposes. The ancient Neanderthal shamans would use them to bypass their conscious mind and speak directly to their subconscious mind or higher self. Ancient Gnostics. The ancient shamans passed their knowledge of these tools down to what became the Gnostic sects of the Serpent Bloodline. Ancient Egypt. Wall paintings and artifacts suggest the use of weighted cords for divinatory and healing purposes. Some scholars have concluded that priests used early dowsing tools to find water and minerals. China. Early Taoist practitioners used tools akin to the pendulum for geomancy and spirit communication. Greece and Rome. Philosophers and physicians experimented with forms of divinatory swinging objects, especially in questions of diagnosis and spiritual inquiry. The Middle Ages and witchcraft traditions. By the Middle Ages, dowsing became widely known in Europe. Rather than a pendulum, a forked hazel rod was more common, but the principle was the same, using subtle movements to reveal hidden information. During this period, dowsing was used to locate water, ore, and even criminals. The Church, alternatively, condemned and tolerated the practice, depending on the region. In folk traditions, magical practitioners used small pendulums or simple weighted cords for divination and spirit communication. Renaissance to the 19th century. The Renaissance reawakened interest in hermetic and esoteric knowledge. Pendulum-like devices were used by alchemy practitioners to determine the purity of substances. Physicians, especially during the 17th and 18th centuries, for magnetic medicine. 19th century spiritualists, who leaned heavily on pendulum and table tapping divination for communication with spirits. By the Victorian era, pendulum magic had a firm place in both folk magic and the burgeoning occult revival. 20th century to modern day. In the 20th century, pendulum work was incorporated into Wicca and modern witchcraft, New Age healing and energy work, parapsychology research, holistic and alternative medical practices. Today, pendulum magic is considered a staple divinatory method in many paths due to its accessibility and adaptability. How pendulum magic works. Most traditions attribute pendulum movements to one or more of the following: Subconscious micro-movements. The pendulum is influenced by micro-movements in your hand, tiny muscular impulses that stem from your subconscious mind. Essentially, your deeper intuition expresses itself through the pendulum's motion. Spirit or guide communication. In spiritualist and mediumistic traditions, the pendulum may act as a conduit for ancestors, deities, spirit guides, local land spirits. This requires a consecrated pendulum and a controlled ritual space. Energetic resonance. New Age and crystal-based practitioners often cite aura fields, chakra systems, subtle energy currents. The pendulum is believed to respond to energetic imbalances or harmonies. Radiesthesia theory. This is the idea that objects emit subtle radiation or energetic signatures, and the pendulum responds to them. Popular in early 20th century European occultism. Common uses for pendulum magic. Divination. This is the most widespread application. Pendulums can be used for yes-no questions, choosing between options, clarifying unclear tarot readings, timing questions, with caution. Many practitioners use a pendulum mat with letters, numbers or symbols. Locating objects or places. A core aspect of classical dowsing. Lost objects, water sources, ley lines or energy lines, hidden information on maps, map dowsing. Healing work. Pendulums are used to identify energy blockages, check chakra alignment, determine energetic compatibility, for example with herbs and crystals. Crystal pendulums, particularly quartz, are common in this context. Spell work enhancement. In witchcraft, the pendulum can determine the right timing for spells. It can help select the most potent herbs or symbols. Some use it to trace sigils or large items by directing energy through the pendulum swing. Spirit communication. Often used in seance-style settings or ancestor work. Precaution is emphasized due to the risk of unclear or mischievous contact. Decision-making and self-inquiry. Because it taps the subconscious, it is valuable for shadow work, emotional clarification, intuitive guidance. Many practitioners use a pendulum when they suspect their conscious mind is interfering with intuition. Types of pendulums. Natural crystal. Quartz, amethyst, lapis lazuli are favoured for energetic clarity. Metal. Copper and brass for conductivity, silver for spirit work. Wooden. Neutral energy, good for beginners. Weighted charms. Keys, rings or coins used in folk traditions. Spirit pendulums. Consecrated tools, specifically used for mediumship. Methods of practice. Calibration. Establish your pendulum's yes, no, maybe, I don't know. This varies by practitioner. You can do this by asking it questions that you already know the answer to. Preparing the space. Most magicians cleanse the area, ground and center, enter a light trance, invoke protection for working with spirits. Phasing questions. Questions must be clear, specific, answerable in binary formats. Ethical use. Pendulum magic should not replace professional medical advice, major life decisions without corroboration, another person's consent or privacy. Accuracy, limitations and criticisms. Pendulum magic is powerful but imperfect. Limitations include bias from the practitioner, emotional interference, poor framing of questions, unstable energy environment. Critical perspectives. Skeptics attribute pendulum motion solely to idiomotor effects. Occultists argue that the idiomotor mechanism may be the very channel through which spiritual or intuitive forces communicate. Most practitioners adopt a balanced view. Pendulum magic is a tool, not an authority. Pendulum magic is one of the most accessible divinatory techniques in the magical world. Its history spans ancient civilizations, medieval folk magic, spiritual seances, and contemporary witchcraft. It is something anyone can try. Have you ever used one? What were your results like? If you have never tried and are going to give it a go, let me know how you get on. I love reading your comments, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank my members. I really appreciate your continued support. And please, if you're not subscribed, do so, because that costs nothing. But if you do want to help me more and support my efforts, then please consider becoming a member. Okay, that's all for now. Bye.